Welcome to the NFL Week 13 picks video. I was 9-5 straight up and an awful 4-10 against the spread. I am scientifically proven to do better this week. Please play along. Post your picks in the comments section. Happy Thanksgiving, and we kick off Turkey Day with a good one, a NFC North rivalry game with playoff ramifications as Green Bay plays Detroit. The Lions are a 2.5 point favorite, and over-under is 48.5. The current NFC North standings have Chicago in front of Green Bay by half a game and Detroit by 1. If the season ended today, Detroit would occupy the 8th seed and wouldn't even make the playoffs. Green Bay the last 3 games has played awesome defense, allowing a total of 36 points, but the offense has been terrible, not getting over 300 total yards in those same 3 games. With Detroit, it's simple. When they run for over 100 yards, they win. When they don't, they lose. Green Bay's defense has been elite the last 3 weeks, but before allowing 93 yards rushing to the Vikings last week, they allowed 416 just the previous 3 weeks. That's under 139 per game. My bold prediction is Jahmyr Gibbs will total over 150 total yards of offense and get at least 1 touchdown and will catapult himself into the MVP conversation with a win Thursday. I like the Lions and love the under. Take Detroit 23, Green Bay 19. The second Thanksgiving game is a good one as Kansas City travels to Dallas. The Cowboys are a 3.5 point home dog and the over-under is 52.5. Both teams had dramatic come-from-behind wins Sunday, and both teams are fighting for their playoffs lives here on Thanksgiving. Since the Cowboys' Week 10 bye and some big-time trades, the Cowboys' defense is much improved. In those 2 games, the Cowboys' defense has allowed 90 yards rushing, 575 total yards of offense, and only 37 points, while Dak Prescott in those same 2 wins has thrown for 6 touchdowns and 622 yards. Dak is 3rd in the NFL in passing yards, only behind Drake May, who's played an extra game, and his opponent Patrick Mahomes. Chiefs fans have been frustrated with the lack of sacks, but the defense is only allowing 18.3 points per game, which is 4th in the NFL. But the Cowboys' improved defense, I put some action on under 52.5, and I suggest you do the same despite this game having the number 1 and the number 2 passing attacks in football. While the Cowboys are much improved defensively, I think the Chiefs have the better defense, and with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, no offense to Dak Prescott, who's having an excellent season, the Chiefs have the advantage. It's close, but I like Kansas City. Chiefs 24, Cowboys 20. As holiday season approaches, we want you to stay safe. Did you know subscribers to Dan Talks Football are struck by asteroids 369% less than non-subscribers? Stay safe from falling space rocks this holiday season and subscribe. Now back to the picks. The final Thanksgiving game marks the return of Joe Burrow as the Bengals invade Baltimore. The Ravens are a 7-point favorite and over-under is 52.5. I have a hard time believing, even with Burrow's return, that the Bengals have a chance with Baltimore. Since starting 1-5, the Ravens have won 5 straight and haven't allowed over 19 points in 6 straight games. I also took the under on this game, but it's close. Same score as the last game. Ravens 24, Bengals 20. We have a special Black Friday game with 2 first-place teams as Chicago travels to Philly. The Eagles are a 7-point favorite and over-under is 44.5. The Bears have won 4 straight and 8 out of their last 9, while the Eagles dropped a 21-point lead to division rival Dallas last week. Despite the record, I'm just not sold on Chicago. Their defense is 27th in points allowed and yards allowed. And while the game against Dallas raised some questions, it was a divisional game and those are always a little odd. I expect Philly to bounce back at home. Eagles 27, Bears 22. We start Sunday's action with San Francisco traveling to Cleveland. The Browns are a 4.5 point home dog and over-under is 38.5. I'm curious how Shedeur Sanders will handle his first start at home versus a team fighting for the playoffs. Cleveland, despite only 3 wins as the defense has given up the 2nd fewest yards in the NFL. I predicted 1.5 sacks for Myles Garrett last week. He got 3 to raise his season total 18. Myles Garrett will get at least 1 sack on Sunday, and I really want to pick an upset, but I can't do it. Niners 22, Browns 17. Next up, we have an AFC South matchup with the Jags traveling to Tennessee. The Titans are a 6.5 point home dog and the over-under is 41.5. Fun fact, the Jags have given up the fewest rushing yards in football, while Tennessee has the fewest rushing yards in football. Tony Pollard hasn't had over 60 yards rushing since the Titans last win week 5. Bold prediction, he gets over 75 rushing yards Sunday. Bolder prediction, We get an upset. Titans get win number 2 Sunday. Titans 20, Jags 19. Next up, we have the other AFC South matchup with the Texans traveling to Indy. The Colts are a 4.5 point favorite and over-under is 44.5. This game is interesting because CJ Stroud makes his return after his backup went 3-0. The Colts lost a tough one in Kansas City, and how will they bounce back after a difficult loss? With the Texans, I haven't seen a defense this dominant since the 2000 Ravens. Yes, this defense is that good. Fun fact, in the Texans' 5 losses, they did not throw for over 200 yards or get 300 yards of total offense in all 5 losses. The Colts defense is 9th in points allowed, but 28th in passing yards allowed. Do we have another AFC South upset? Yes, we do! Texans 25, Colts 23. Next up, we have the Saints traveling to Miami. The Dolphins are a 6-point favorite and over-under is 42.5. Miami started 1-6, but has won 3 out of their last 4 before their bye week. The Saints will go with rookie Tyler Show again, and thanks to an Alvin Kamara injury, he led the team in rushing last week with 22 yards. In the last 4 games, Miami's offense has hit their stride and their defense is much improved. Miami should win and cover. Dolphins 27, Saints 19. Next up, we have the Falcons heading to New York. The Jets are a 2.5 point home dog and the over-under is 39.5. Kirk Cousins gets a start again, and the Jets will go with Tyrod Taylor. Both teams, in my opinion, have head coaches and general managers that could be fired after the season, so a lot is at stake. I do think both Breece Hall and Bijan Robinson will have good games for fantasy football owners, and I think this will be a close contest. Let's go Falcons 24, Jets 21. Next up, we have the Rams traveling cross-country to play the Panthers. Carolina's a 10.5 point home dog and the over-under is 44.5. While I do think the Rams are the best team in the NFC and the Panthers are not a playoff team, 10.5 points is a little high. Fun fact, the most passing yards allowed by the Panthers this year is 266, and that was to rookie Tyler Show making his first NFL start. I can argue that this is Matthew Stafford's best NFL season. He has an NFL high 30 touchdown passes and only 2 interceptions. He is the MVP frontrunner right now, but we'll see what happens. This game will be closer than most people think, but I'm not picking against the Rams. LA 24, Panthers 19. For the final early game, we have Arizona traveling to Tampa. The Bucs are a 3.5 point favorite and over-under is 44.5. Fun fact, the Bucs have had 4-game losing streaks in their last 2 seasons, and they are on a 3-game losing streak now. I fully believe the Cardinals are better than their 3-9 record would indicate, and it is unknown if Baker or Bucky Irvin will play Sunday. Without Baker, I'm tempted to go with an upset, but I believe he will play and the Bucs snap the streak. Tampa 27, Cards 21. For the first late game, we have Minnesota traveling to Seattle. The Seahawks are 11.5 point favorite and over-under is 41.5. While it is not definite, it appears Max Brosmer, an undrafted rookie out of Minnesota, will get the start against Seattle. Seattle's Jackson Smith-Njigba is leading the NFL with 13 receiving yards, and at this pace he will break 2,000 receiving yards and set a single season receiving record, but somehow isn't an MVP candidate. The Vikings have lost their last 3 and 5 out of their last 6, but their defense is playing better than the stats indicate. On this 3-game losing streak, the most passing yards allowed has been 180. I predict out of spite they contain JSN to under 100 yards receiving and cover 11.5. Seahawks 20, Vikings 16. Next up is an old school AFC West rivalry as the Raiders travel to LA. The Chargers are an 8.5 point favorite and over-under is 40.5. After scoring 10 points against the Browns, the Raiders fired Chip Kelly and promoted Greg Olsen, who was the Raiders offensive coordinator when John Gruden was head coach. Fun fact, the last time he was the Raiders offensive coordinator, they were 6th in passing yards and the Raiders made the playoffs. While Olsen is a better fit as offensive coordinator for Geno Smith, who knows what they can do in a week. My guess is an improvement and maybe the Raiders cover. Chargers 29, Raiders 21. For the final late game, we have a pair of AFC teams that lost last week but are still in the playoff hunt as the Bills travel to Pittsburgh. The Steelers are a 3.5 point home dog and the over-under is 46.5. The Steelers ran for a season high 186 yards last week and held the Bears only 99 yards rushing, despite Chicago having the 2nd best rushing attack in the NFL this year. Buffalo has the #1 rushing attack, but are 30th against the run. The Bills are also 2-3 on the road this year. I predict Aaron Rodgers will play, and this will end up being a great game. I really want to pick Pittsburgh here, but I can't see Buffalo losing. Bills 25, Steelers 23. Sunday Night Football has Denver traveling to Washington. The Commanders are a 6-point home dog and the over-under is 43.5. Both Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin are questionable, and if they play, this could be a close game, but if they don't, it could get ugly. The Commanders' defense is terrible, so the up and down Bo Nix really shouldn't factor into play. I think Denver wins and covers despite who plays for Washington. Let's go Broncos 23, Commanders 14. Monday Night Football has the Giants traveling to New England. The Patriots are a 7.5-point favorite. Over-under is 46.5. For the Giants, we don't know who will play quarterback, but personally, I'd like to see Jameis Winston, who's as entertaining of a quarterback as you will see. For the Patriots, they have MVP candidate Drake May, and the whole country finally gets to see this youngster out of North Carolina. Personally, I've been blown away by the Patriots defense. 6th in points, 8th in yards, including 2nd against the run, and only allowing an NFL best 4 rushing touchdowns so far. The Patriots should win, but I got a feeling Patriots fans will get nervous as the Giants cover. New England 26, Giants 20. A lot of you are going to games late in the season. Don't get cold. Watch this video titled How to Stay Warm at Arrowhead, but the tips apply to any cold weather stadium. Drop your picks below, and I hope to see you back next week.